I guess I want to talk about the Ben Affleck being Batman. I do not necessarily have a problem with Ben Affleck playing Batman. However, if they do what I think they're going to do, and it just be a one shot with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill being the Superman and Batman crossover, they're going to ruin themselves. After Christian Bale officially stopped being Batman, what they need to worry about doing is building a cinematic universe of new Batman, and be a person that's going to be in for 4 or 5 different movies. For example, the Man of Steel sequel, which I really don't understand why they're going with the Batman Superman mix up, other than the fact that obviously nobody watches Superman that much, and they're just trying to increase their buy rate with putting Batman in there, just shoehorning him in. The DC universe is very sporadic with their cinematic viewpoints and where they're going. They have no plan of what they're doing. That is their major malfunction. Marvel, however, has everything in their universe tightly knit together. You know what's coming. You know what the new stories are going to be. And all these characters are blending in together to make one massively good story. DC Universe, not so much. They're spread all over the place. There's 4 or 5 different versions of things going on at one time. Nobody knows what's happening. If Affleck can stay in for 4 or 5 films, for example, the Superman Batman crossover, which I think is really honestly stupid at this point, because they still need to establish Superman first. And Batman needs to have his own movies that he can be in to establish the character and that version of Batman, so that when you do finally bring Batman and Superman together, you understand the characters. You don't have to do the origin. You don't have to do all this other stupid stuff that you have to try to squeeze into a 2 hour period or 3 hour period. Marvel Universe does it so well because you have all these standalone movies and they go into the Avengers. You already know the characters' backstories. You don't have to be let known what their backstories is, because it's not important that you already know it. I think that Superman and Batman, the way the movie's going to go, honestly, people, it's not going to be them versing each other throughout the whole thing. They might fight or have a misunderstanding. It's going to be them teaming up together to take on Lex Luthor or whatever villain it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be Luthor because they haven't introduced him in the new series yet. But Batman needs to be a series. Whether there's a way you can do it, and I don't know whether they're smart enough to figure it out, but they could do a cartoon series or an anime series leading up with Ben Affleck doing the voices of the Batman in the actual cartoon, and then you already have his backstory by the time you get to that. They're obviously not going to do it because they're not intelligent enough to realize that if they start interweaving their stories, they have to make everything gel together in a perfect mix. I don't necessarily have a problem with Ben Affleck. He's a good actor, but I have to agree with a lot of the comments that I've read earlier about him. It is unfortunate that every movie he's playing Ben Affleck. And if he does it in Batman, it's just going to be Ben Affleck with a bat suit on. Don't think it's going to be too great. Um, they should have went for a younger guy. I would like to have seen Keith Urban. I think Keith Urban would have done a great job as Batman if they could have kept him in so many movies. You know, not if they just do a one-shot deal, they're kind of just shooting themselves in the foot. They need somebody that's going to be in that role for a long period of time, not just once. You're done, go home, it's over. I haven't watched the new Superman. Not really, yeah, Zod. Ooh, wow. It's like a lot of other movies right now. Unfortunately, they're rehashing old plot lines. Not a big fan of doing that. But Hollywood, of course, is creatively bankrupt at the moment for some reason. They can't think outside of their little boxes. Affleck, like I said, I'll give him a chance. But if they don't keep him on for more than one movie, it's going to be a problem. They need to reboot the Batman series. However, they don't need to do it this soon. I think they're rushing it by bringing Batman back for a Superman sequel. I think, probably they should have waited for about 2 to 3 years, then started doing the Batman process again, to where you got a new Batman. You go through the origin story, then you start meeting these villains again. But cast it with people in mind that's going to be willing to do it for 4 or 5 movies, or be part of one movie and then go to another movie, then another movie, to create a coherent universe that everybody can watch and enjoy. At this point, they're discombobulated is the word I'm going to use. Discombobulated. They have no clue how they're going to tie everything together. We don't even have a Wonder Woman movie yet, and she's one of their she's the number 3 in their universe. It's Superman. Actually, it's Batman. Batman's number 1, plain and simple. I don't care what all Superman fans could say. Batman's number 1 in their universe, and he always will be, because he is a depth of character that people like to see. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. We saw what they've done with Green Lantern, which was just plain and simple CG everything. We don't care acting. We don't need to do regular effects with CG. Let's just do CG. They should have just made an animation of it, been done with it. I liked Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. I thought he'd done a good job. However, the movie was it was a cartoon. It was a freaking cartoon. When they tried to make it live action, you're supposed to be able to fall into the movie and enjoy it for what it is, but not at the expense of it being nothing but CG. The same problem that Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 had. Way too much CG, not enough practical effects, and you're just looking at the movie going, well, yeah, it's pretty, I guess, but it doesn't further the story. And even Lucas at one point said, special effects mean nothing if it's not telling a good story. I think the problem with the Batman-Superman crossover is they're doing it too soon. They should have truly developed the Superman movies first. And I mean, and have it to where, the next movie obviously will probably be Luthor. Why not have it to where he faces off some of his other villains that they don't give a movie treatment to every week, or every time there's a movie coming out? Oh, well, look, it's Zod. Oh, it's Zod again. Ooh, 3 more Zods for some reason. Why not do Mongol? Why not do Darkseid? See, Darkseid should be reserved, though, for the Justice League movie, because he's a massive villain. Why not Parasite? Have a reimagining of what Parasite can be and what he does. Great comic series with Parasite in it. Metallo, Brainiac, the other Superman villains. You're only as strong as your villains are, and Luthor is his villain. I don't think they need to bring Batman in yet. I think Batman needs to reestablish his movie sets before he becomes the Superman Batman crossover monster. But there's no direction. There's no direction to their entire universe. Nothing in their universe is working towards something. Unlike the Marvel universe, who every movie is building to the next Avengers, or building to another major storyline that everybody's involved in. Joss Whedon, he kind of gets it, that everything is interlaced. The DC people, they're just making random movies just to keep a character going. They need to fix some of their problems with their other movie franchises. Green Lantern. They got a Flash coming out. I'm kind of concerned of what they're going to do with it. Flash is one of my favorite characters of all time. They don't really have a plan for Wonder Woman, and she's one of their cornerstones of their universe. I'm going to give Affleck a chance. I'll probably watch it, only because I like the Batman far better than I do Superman. Sorry. But I just don't think that when it comes down to it, I think it's too rushed. I think they're trying to push it out to try to capture the superhero money train that they've been trying to ride for months and months and years. Give it a break. Reestablish your universe. Have a direction that the universe follows. Like, have it all, like, all these interwoven stories can lead up to the Justice League movie. It's like the Batman Superman. They could have done another series of Batman and have a series of Superman movies. Have like 3 Superman movies going, 3 Batman movies, and then have them merge into Batman Superman. That way you've got the origin going. Now they're going to have to find a way to create an origin story so that you'll understand this version of the Batman. It's going to be kind of brain cramp, or it's all just going to be pretty graphics that no story. It's not going to be story. It's going to be all CG crap that nobody's going. You're going to look at and say, "Well, that's just totally unbelievable. Why?" But that's unfortunately what they're probably going to go with. Like I said, I'll give him a chance. If they do not keep him for more than one movie, then there's going to be a problem with their continuity in their universe. Then what they're going to have to do is unfortunately, go in, totally redo their whole universe again. This is how many versions of the Batman, number 5, number 6, number 7, whatever it is at this point. They'll have to, if they do not keep Affleck on for more than one movie, and Henry Cavill's Superman for beyond the next movie, they're going to have to restart everything again. At least the Marvel universe, Robert Downey Jr. is still Iron Man. Yeah, they changed the Hulk out a couple of times, but Chris Hemsworth is still Thor. The villains are still who they are from the original movies. Continuity, people. I know it's that one thing that Hollywood and these movie makers just don't seem to get in their head is once you introduce a character, it's like Jason Voorhees. Yeah, you can get different actors to play Jason Voorhees, but it's still Jason Voorhees. He still has the same look. He still has the hockey mask. He's still a murderer. When you change characters, people lose their love of it. You want the prime example of it? From Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer. That ruined the Batman. That ruined Tim Burton's Batman vision. I liked his vision. Not a humongous fan of most of his stuff. But when they changed over that character to the other one, they ruined it. Whoever's over DC, you need to think about your universe needs to be together instead of individual movies. I'll watch it, but I'm assuming it's going to have as many problems as their other movies do. And until next time, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below there, and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks.